So let me ask you, are you at a place in your life where you're questioning your identity? Are you quietly asking, what now? Are you trying to rebuild after an unexpected or unwanted life shift? Have you experienced a loss that left you wondering what just happened and why? Hi, friends, I'm Brian. I help high capacity individuals rediscover purpose after seasons of disruption, loss, or transition. True purpose begins with a renewed mind. My coaching is faith based. The results are real and the outcomes are lasting. I recently wrote a letter to a friend who is walking through the questions of rebuilding identity after a major life loss and shift. He's asking why, what now? If that's where you find yourself, I invite you to listen to this letter that helped transform his thinking. Stick around to the end, and I'll share how you can access a variety of free resources just by connecting. Here's the letter. Dear friend, I feel your pain. And even more, God feels it with you. You already know this. He's our comforter, our healer. But how does one actually rebuild, renew, and restart after life breaks wide open? You may be standing in the wilderness right now, asking for answers and seeking direction. But even in the wilderness, God is whispering his presence, his power, his promise. I will never leave you or forsake you. I've been there too. You see, after more than 30 years in ministry, I found myself in a blue collar job, driving a truck. It was painful, it was humbling, confusing. But over time, that season became a healing ground. I discovered that my identity wasn't tied to a role or a title. It was rooted in who God says I am. That realization didn't happen overnight, and honestly, the process is still unfolding. But it all started with a shift in my thinking, because how we think shapes who we become. I had to make a daily decision to trust God in the pain, not after it was gone, to believe He still had a purpose for me, even when I didn't ask for this new path. Maybe you didn't either, but here you are. And yes, there is still purpose. It may look different, but it's just as real. It's not easy to say, okay, God, if this is where you have me, then now what? But that's often the very place where healing begins. One passage I've leaned on heavily is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says, trust the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Here's how I reflect on that line by line. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. I have to ask myself, am I really doing that? Or am I leaning on my circumstances? Lean not on your own understanding. I've tried to figure it all out, but when nothing made sense, I turned to faith, not just as a word, but as a mindset. In all your ways, acknowledge him. That's hard in the wilderness, but when we do, it helps us let go of the past and move forward with confidence. And he will direct your paths. This is a promise. And yes, it often comes with the condition of surrender, but still, God is so good. He sometimes leads even when we're learning to trust. So take it one step at a time, one day at a time. Keep seeking, asking, knocking, and be open to the path God opens before you. Remember, he gives us choices. I don't believe there's only one right path that pleases him. He's a loving father. And just as we got our children with love and options, he walks with us, gently leading as we follow. Acceptance is key. The sooner we accept what we've been handed, even when it hurts, the sooner we rise with courage and clarity. Pain may not vanish overnight, but healing begins when we move forward with faith over fear. Over and over, Scripture reminds us, fear not, for I am with you. Those aren't empty words. That's the heartbeat of a God who walked with us even when life falls apart. So keep taking steps. Consider your options. Stay open. I don't know where your path will lead, but God does. Count your blessings. Practice gratitude daily for life, for breath, for his presence. That's your foundation. Joy comes in the morning. That's my hope and prayer for you. If this letter speaks to you, hit subscribe for more encouragement like it. To connect personally, visit mylifepurpose.life and fill out the form. When you do, you'll be redirected to my coaching site, mylifepurpose.life. I'll drop that below. You'll get access to more than just a free PDF. You'll unlock 30 days of guided encouragement and a couple of free courses and more just for logging in. And I'll be in touch soon.